What if I told you there are 7 things you might be doing that your cat will never forgive? In this video, I'll break down the biggest mistakes cat owners make, like shouting, ignoring their needs, or even waking them up wrong. Miss this, and you could be breaking your cat's trust without even knowing it. And the final one? It's something most people do daily without thinking. Number 1. Raised voices. To us, a raised voice might just be a way to express frustration or urgency, but to a cat, it can feel like an explosion. Felines have incredibly sensitive hearing, capable of detecting frequencies up to 64 kilohertz, far beyond the human range. This super hearing evolved to help them track the tiniest movements of prey in the wild, like the rustle of a mouse in the grass. But inside the home, this same evolutionary gift can become a source of stress, especially when loud, unpredictable noises erupt. Now imagine how this sensitivity translates when you shout or even speak harshly. For a cat, it's not just volume, it's vibration, tone, and intensity, all of which flood their senses. A raised voice doesn't come across as a communication cue. It comes across as a potential threat. And in the feline world, threats trigger a simple response: flee, freeze, or fight. Cats are experts at interpreting body language and emotional energy. They don't understand words, but they understand energy, especially when it shifts rapidly. A sudden change in your tone, posture, or facial expression can instantly put them on edge. And unlike dogs, who may be more forgiving of loud behavior if it's balanced by affection or routine, cats are much more cautious. If they repeatedly associate a certain person's voice or behavior with loud, negative energy, they may begin to avoid that person entirely, even hiding when they hear their footsteps. There's actual science behind this. Studies on feline behavior show that cats living in chronically noisy or chaotic environments, like homes with frequent arguments, yelling, or even loud appliances, are more likely to exhibit signs of chronic stress. This can include everything from hiding, over-grooming, and loss of appetite to aggression or bathroom accidents. And these stress symptoms aren't just behavioral. They can eventually take a toll on your cat's immune system and overall health. The emotional fallout goes even deeper. Cats are slow to build trust, and that trust is fragile. One loud outburst, especially if it's directed at them, even unintentionally, can undo weeks or months of bonding. You might notice your cat becoming more distant, avoiding eye contact, or hesitating before approaching you. That's not them being stubborn. It's self-preservation. In their mind, they're staying safe from a potentially volatile presence. But the good news? Just as cats are sensitive to negativity, they're equally responsive to calm, soothing energy. If your voice is soft, your tone warm, and your energy grounded, cats will pick up on that and gravitate toward it. Some cats will even respond to your voice like a lullaby, blinking slowly or purring when you speak gently to them. This is how trust is built. Not through grand gestures, but through consistency in tone, body language, and energy. Number 2. Teasing your cat. Teasing may come off as harmless fun, lightly tugging a tail, sneaking up for a scare, or scooping up a cat who clearly isn't in the mood. But to a cat, these aren't jokes. They're violations. Cats are creatures of boundaries, and unlike us, they don't differentiate between playful mischief and unpredictable threats. What matters is how it feels in the moment, and for them, teasing often registers as loss of control or unwanted contact. One of the key things people overlook is that cats process these moments not just physically, but emotionally. Their memory works in a way that prioritizes experiences tied to strong sensations, especially fear or discomfort. So, even if you tease a cat for a few seconds and laugh it off, your cat may internalize that moment as a red flag. This person does things I can't predict or stop. And when those red flags start to pile up, trust begins to fray. Unlike dogs, cats rarely tolerate repeated violations of their space. Teasing doesn't just irritate them in the moment. It can leave behind behavioral ripples. You might notice them becoming more withdrawn, skittish around certain rooms, or reluctant to be touched in areas they once tolerated. This isn't pettiness. It's self-preservation. Once a cat learns that their comfort isn't respected, they adapt their behavior to minimize risk, even if it means pulling away from someone they once trusted. There are also physiological consequences. Repeated teasing or overstimulation, especially along the spine and tail, can increase sensitivity over time. In some cats, this manifests as hyperesthesia syndrome, a condition marked by sudden spasms, frantic grooming, skin twitching, or aggression when touched. While the exact cause is complex and multifactorial, stress and sensory overload are commonly linked. In other words, something as harmless as tail pulling or repetitive touching during rest can contribute to a larger issue, one that affects both mind and body. The emotional stakes are even higher when teasing happens during vulnerable moments, like when a cat is sleeping. Startling a resting cat breaks the one place they should always feel secure. It turns peaceful stillness into unpredictability, which makes them more guarded even during future naps. Over time, this erodes their confidence in the environment itself, creating a cycle of tension and withdrawal. Number 3. Rough play. Many people chalk up biting, scratching, and pouncing as just how cats play, but the truth is far more nuanced. Yes, cats are natural hunters, and play is their way of practicing survival skills, stalking, chasing, ambushing, and attacking. But how they play with you, especially their level of gentleness or aggression, is often shaped by the kind of play they were exposed to during their formative months. And that means we, as humans, have far more influence over their behavior than we realize. Using hands or feet as toys might seem cute when they're tiny kittens. A soft nibble on your finger? Adorable. A playful paw swipe? No big deal. But cats grow fast, and those once innocent habits can turn into painful, reflexive behaviors. What you're actually teaching them in those moments is that human skin is a valid target. The distinction between toy and body part becomes blurred, and this confusion only deepens as they grow stronger and more confident. This misdirection can also result in emotional confusion. Cats don't play with each other the same way they play with prey. When play with humans turns aggressive, especially without clear rules or boundaries, the cat can begin to associate unpredictability or stress with their time with you. One moment you're a trusted companion, the next you're chasing or grabbing them. To a cat, that can feel like betrayal. And in response, some cats may become hesitant, defensive, or even develop anxiety around play altogether. Even well-intentioned owners can miss subtle signs that their cat is no longer comfortable. Unlike dogs, cats often don't growl or bark when play escalates. They communicate through posture and micro-signals. Rapid tail flicks, tense muscles, ears flattening sideways or back, sudden freezing, or dilated pupils are early signs of overstimulation. Ignore these, and the next stage may involve a swat, bite, or bolt out of the room, not out of rudeness, but out of discomfort. It's also important to remember that rough play can reinforce the wrong kind of excitement. A cat that learns to get adrenaline highs from attacking bare limbs may later engage in sneak attacks when you're walking around the house, lounging on the couch, or reaching under furniture. This isn't because they've become mean. It's because they were conditioned to see your movements as an invitation to pounce. To prevent this, always use toys that create space between your body and theirs. Wand toys, feathers, string chasers, or motorized prey-style gadgets. These tools let them indulge their natural instincts while keeping boundaries clear. And end every play session with a gentle cool-down, perhaps a calm voice, slow petting, or offering a treat, to help them transition from high energy to rest. In the end, play isn't just about keeping your cat entertained. It's how they bond, how they learn, and how they express themselves. Respecting their boundaries during play not only keeps things safe, it builds trust that carries over into every other part of your relationship. Number 4. Skipping the small things. It's easy to overlook the little tasks that come with living alongside a cat. Trimming their nails, brushing their coat, scooping the litter box, wiping a crusty eye, or even paying attention to the occasional hairball. But to your cat, these aren't background chores. They're core elements of daily comfort, health, and emotional well-being. Skipping them doesn't just cause mild inconvenience. It can add up to serious discomfort or even distress over time. Take grooming, for example. While cats are famously clean animals who groom themselves obsessively, they can't always manage everything, especially as they age, gain weight, or deal with anxiety. Mats can form, causing skin irritation or even infections. Regular brushing helps prevent that, reduces shedding, and even serves as a bonding activity, if done with sensitivity to their preferences. Many cats love gentle brushing, especially when it mimics the feel of their mother's tongue. Nail trimming is another small act that makes a massive difference. Overgrown claws can curl inward, piercing the paw pad and causing pain or infection. Long nails also get caught in fabric or carpet, making movement awkward or even dangerous. Trimming not only prevents injuries, it helps maintain healthy posture, especially in older cats who rely more on balance and secure footing. Then there's the litter box. To humans, it's a chore. To cats, it's sacred territory. A dirty box can stress them out, and some may avoid using it altogether if it smells bad or contains too much waste. This often leads to urination or defecation outside the box. Not because the cat is misbehaving, but because they're trying to communicate that something's wrong. And it's not just about odor. Unclean litter boxes can harbor bacteria and parasites that may affect both feline and human health. Hairballs? They might seem like a harmless quirk of cat ownership, but frequent hairballs can be a red flag. They may signal excessive grooming, anxiety, poor diet, or underlying digestive issues. Ignoring them means potentially missing early signs of a bigger health problem. What's more, all these small actions serve a deeper emotional purpose. They let your cat know you're paying attention. Cats may not wag their tails or jump for joy like dogs, but they do notice consistency, care, and routine. Regular maintenance tells them, in their language, that they are safe, valued, and not alone in handling life's little discomforts. These daily or weekly moments might feel minor on their own, but over time, they shape how your cat experiences their environment and how they experience you. The real secret to earning a cat's trust often lies not in grand gestures, but in quietly, consistently showing up for the small things. Number 5. Not respecting their territory. Cats aren't just creatures of habit. They're creatures of space. Their sense of safety and identity is deeply tied to the physical layout of their environment. To a cat, territory isn't just the room they're in or the couch they nap on. It's an emotional map layered with memories, scents, routines, and invisible boundaries they've spent time establishing. When we disrupt that map, even unintentionally, it can feel like an invasion or even a threat. Unlike dogs, who often adapt more quickly to changes in their surroundings, cats form attachments to objects and spaces through scent marking. Every time they rub their cheeks on a chair leg, knead a blanket, or stretch against the wall, they're depositing pheromones, chemical messages that serve as both a comfort signal and a boundary line. These scent marks tell them, "This is familiar. This is safe. This is mine." Now imagine how it feels when their bed is moved, their favorite blanket gets washed without returning it to the same place, or their litter box keeps shifting from corner to corner. To us, these changes might feel like cleaning or redecorating, but to your cat, it's as if someone keeps rearranging their world while they sleep. This unpredictability can lead to stress-related behaviors, excessive grooming, sudden aggression, hiding, or even inappropriate urination. Not out of rebellion, but as a coping mechanism. Even small changes can send a big message. For example, bringing in new furniture without providing a way for the cat to explore it on their terms may trigger territorial anxiety. So can introducing new pets without giving your cat space to retreat and re-establish their scent zones. In multi-cat households, shared resources like food bowls and litter boxes can become flashpoints if territorial balance is disrupted. One cat may begin to dominate, while the other grows anxious or withdrawn. The solution? Stability and permission. Try to keep your cat's essential items, like their bed, litter box, scratching posts, and feeding area, in consistent locations. If you must move something, do it gradually and allow them to remark the space. Use soft cloths to rub their cheeks and transfer their scent to new items to ease transitions. And if you're introducing new furniture or redesigning a room, let your cat explore it first, at their own pace. You can also empower them with vertical territory. Cats instinctively seek high ground. It gives them control, lets them observe without being approached, and reinforces their confidence. Wall-mounted shelves, tall cat trees, or access to window perches can significantly reduce stress by providing visual command over their domain. In a cat's world, territory equals control, and control equals comfort. Respect that, and you're not just giving them a space to live in. You're giving them a space to thrive in. Number 6. Regularly interrupting their sleep. To the untrained eye, it might seem like your cat is just being lazy, curled up in their favorite corner for hours on end. But what many people overlook is that a cat's long sleep schedule isn't a sign of boredom or idleness. It's a biological imperative. Domestic cats have inherited the instincts of their wild ancestors who needed to conserve as much energy as possible between high-intensity bursts of hunting. That same wiring persists, even if the closest thing your cat is hunting these days is a laser pointer or a jingly mouse toy. On average, a cat sleeps between 12 to 16 hours a day, and in some cases, even up to 20 hours. But it's not just about quantity, it's about quality. Cats cycle through both non-REM and REM sleep, just like humans. And during REM sleep, when their brain activity is at its peak, they're not just resting, they're processing memories, dreaming, and mentally resetting. Those twitching paws or soft murmurs you sometimes hear? They're likely replaying some part of their day or imagining themselves in full hunting mode. Interrupting this process, especially multiple times a day, does more than just cause a minor annoyance. It disrupts their natural rhythm, and over time, it can elevate their stress levels, weaken their immune system, and trigger behavioral changes like irritability, increased hiding, or even aggression. Sleep-deprived cats may also become more skittish, less playful, and lose interest in interacting altogether. It's important to remember that cats are crepuscular animals, meaning their instinctual energy peaks around dawn and dusk. That's when their wild ancestors would hunt, when prey is most active and visibility is low. So those long, seemingly random naps during the daytime? They're not random at all. They're biologically scheduled downtime in preparation for their active windows. And unlike dogs, who might tolerate being woken up to go for a walk or receive affection, cats can interpret constant disturbances as a violation of their personal space. If this happens regularly, it can erode the trust they have in you. Instead of being a source of comfort, you become a source of unpredictable noise and intrusion. So, what's the best way to support your cat's natural sleep needs? Provide them with multiple safe, quiet, and warm places to sleep, preferably in elevated or hidden areas where they feel secure. Avoid disturbing them unless it's absolutely necessary, and educate young children or guests on respecting a cat's rest time. Letting a cat sleep in peace might seem like a small act, but to them, it's everything. It's how they reset, feel safe, and stay mentally balanced. So the next time you see your feline friend snoozing in the sun, remember, they're not being lazy. They're being a cat, just the way nature intended. Number 7. Forcing new interactions. Cats are often viewed as aloof or independent, but in truth, they have a delicate way of interacting with the world, especially when new faces, pets, or changes come into their environment. While it's natural for us to want our cats to immediately bond with a new family member or pet, the truth is that cats are creatures of habit and control, and they take their time in adjusting to anything unfamiliar. Rushing them through this process can lead to stress, confusion, and even fear-based reactions. At first, your cat's reaction to anything new is often curiosity, but it's quickly followed by caution. This instinct is rooted in their survival mechanism. New things could potentially be threats, and they need to assess the situation before letting their guard down. This is why when we bring home a new pet or introduce them to unfamiliar people, it's crucial to understand that their initial reaction isn't personal. It's simply a way of trying to protect themselves and maintain control over their environment. Unlike dogs, who often rely on their sight to assess new stimuli, cats are heavily reliant on their sense of smell to form bonds and recognize trust. Scent is their primary form of communication, and it's how they build familiarity with the world around them. So when you try to force a face-to-face meeting between your cat and a new pet or person, You're asking them to skip an important step in their process, getting to know the scent first. When this isn't allowed, it can feel like an overwhelming invasion of their space. A study on cat behavior found that gradual introductions are far more successful in easing tension and preventing stress. Start by allowing your cat to sniff a blanket or toy that's been in contact with the new person or pet. This will give them time to adjust to the new scent without the pressure of an immediate physical interaction. Over time, as they get used to the smell, they'll feel more comfortable in the presence of the new individual. Rushing the introduction or forcing your cat to interact too soon can lead to a behavior called fear aggression. This happens when a cat feels cornered or overwhelmed, and their only defense mechanism is to lash out. It's not that your cat is being mean or bad. They're simply reacting to what they perceive as a dangerous or threatening situation. Fear aggression can manifest in sudden hissing, growling, or even biting. These are not signs of a cat being unfriendly. Rather, they are natural responses to being put in a stressful, unfamiliar position. To avoid this, create a safe, controlled environment for gradual introductions. Allow your cat to retreat if they feel threatened, and never force them to stay in a situation they're not ready for. Over time, they will learn to associate new experiences with safety and comfort, building trust at their own pace.